Hey everyone, it's Chris here, and in today's video, I want to talk about $23,000 in revenue from an influencer on Instagram. More specifically, I want to talk about the strategy that's actually working right now when it comes to influencer marketing, something that we're utilizing for our print-on-demand brand. This works for any store out there. You can be big or small as long as you have a proven product. We worked with our first big influencer only 10 days into opening up this brand. We hadn't even done $1,500 in revenue. Worked with a big influencer, did $5,000 that day. It's a very powerful tactic to send mass amounts of people to your website and acquire mass acquisition, tons of purchases and tons of data. And the specific strategy that I actually want to talk about today is Instagram stories. It's big. It's actually what we have determined to be the thing that works right now and works really, really well. But before we get into that, I want to show you some stats right here. February 10th, $23,000 from this influencer story post, a semi-celebrity, 26,000 visits to the website. If we scroll back a little bit more to February 26th, which was Cyber Monday, the perfect day to do a promotion. People are ready to buy. You can see when it went up right here, $141,000 sent. Not all 57,000. We had customers that day and a bunch of other people, but it's for sure sent at least 40,000 people to the website, did tens of thousands of dollars off of that. We're going to be talking about high-level influencers, and I consider a high-level influencer anybody that charges $1,500 for a story post. A high-level influencer can help you build massive brand equity, give you a major competitive advantage, and sometimes they're not the easiest to work with, which makes them even more worth it. If you look at brands like Hi Smile is one of my favorite brands. They've acquired a massive following. If you look at their Facebook page, 1.7 million likes. They've worked with Kim Kardashian, Conor McGregor. They actually had Conor McGregor as a cover photo here a while back. And if you look at their Instagram, they have over 1 million followers and a raving following. And it's really the one thing, it's really the thing that separates them from everybody else out there that is trying to do this right here. Everybody, I feel like teeth whitening is very big right now, and it's something that many people are getting into. And to really separate yourself, influencers is the way to go. Let me start off by saying first, this video is not about finding high-level influencers. I think that there's tons of videos on YouTube about that, or you're probably aware of the influencers inside of your niche. I want to more so talk about the strategies when working with these influencers and how to structure your story post so that you get massive returns, so that you get positive returns. Instagram stories is something that they're pushing really hard right now. It's very organic compared to with a normal feed post. It's very hard to reach people. You have to get a lot of comments, a lot of engagement for it to actually be pushed out to the masses. Whereas with the story, the reach is very high and it's your loyal followers. Loyal people are actually seeing that. These are some real quick stats for you right here. These were the results of one post that we did, seen by 1.3 million people, sent tens of thousands of people to the website. This was a actually I should say celebrity, but non-celebrity, not a nameless celebrity, but I don't know. But let's go ahead and get into my notes right here, the good stuff. So as I said, the game has changed and it will continue to change. And it's very important to understand that. Stories are working right now, and we're going to talk about the structure a little bit later. When we do influencer posts nowadays, we actually don't go into it expecting profit. The mentality that we have is when we work with an influencer, we think about how little money how much little money, does that make sense, can we lose with this influencer? Nowadays, does it work? Yes, but I think that the long term, there's more of a long-term return on investment of it. You can see right here, it did $95,000 in revenue, 1,500 people used the code. It took about 6 months for us to actually be profitable off that post. But again, that is, it's worth it to us. I mean, even being able to profit from it is absolutely worth it. The $90,000 is just what we can see from that one influencer post. We fronted $40,000 to receive that. $40,000 for the influencer post, and we've seen that return on investment over the course of 6 months. Now, when you do influencer marketing, there's really two ways to go out there and do it. You can go pay an influencer $1,500 and think, okay, how much money can I make from them on day 1 or 2, and can I profit from it? And B, you can actually take the long-term approach that we're taking and that HiSmile is taking for massive returns. You get their permission to use the content, and you repurpose that content into your marketing. You put it on your website. You tell people, hey, we have been featured by this influencer. And long after the fact that that promotion happened, you're still making money. When HiSmile worked with Conor McGregor, they were able to put that right in their marketing and use him on their thumbnails. So when people are scrolling on their newsfeed, fans of Conor McGregor, they see that, and it's what stops the scroll. Now, going back to us with the $90,000 in revenue, that is just what we can see. What we're not seeing is how many referrals did we receive from the 1,500 new customers that we got? What kind of an increase in conversion rate are we seeing from using the influencer content and using their credibility in our marketing? How many extra sales have we received from that? How much has that moved the needle and separated us from the competition? What kind of an increase in buzz are we seeing on social media? Our buzz has skyrocketed because of it. Opportunities like PR, public relations, TV shows reaching out to us, wanting us to be on their show. Just thinking about it from all these different spectrums, when you look at it from this long-term approach, it becomes a lot more worth it. I think that if you're going into it expecting to make profit day 1, day 2, I think that you're losing out on a lot of opportunity. Okay, so the first thing that I would recommend when you're going out there is actually optimizing your Instagram. If you are looking to do this, your Instagram validates your credibility to an influencer and a potential customer. You want to have high quality content showcased right there. You should always be doing high quality content, but if you are trying to get into in front of the eyes of somebody big, you want to have good stuff on there. They want to see you as legit, and you want to have a good bio. And just to give you some examples right here, I'm not going to go too in depth about this because I think it's rather simple, but SandCloud right here, one of my favorite brands rather, they have bulleted all of their information about their brand up here with emojis, their unique selling points, and then a call to action. If you look at their Instagram, it's very high quality content. You can tell that, well, I actually know that a lot of this content is coming from their customers. They have an ambassador program, which is perfect for coming up with mass amounts of content. So they're able to push that out, multiple posts every single day. If we look at a different brand like Movement Watches, it's the same exact thing. Necessary information up in the bio and very, very good content on the Instagram. And coming out with the Instagram content, we used to see as a very daunting thing, and it's hard, and we can't do this, but it's really not that hard. And the best way to actually get content is just by working with influencers, and not necessarily high-level influencers, but working with smaller influencers, 100,000 followers, under 100,000, and pretty much sending them your product in compensation for 3 to 5 pieces of content that you can use for your benefit. And you can set this up to be an automated system, have somebody contacting these influencers, getting content day in and day out, so that you never run out of that surplus. Okay, some other notes right here. Personal brand influencers, all we work with. No general themed pages, none of those. If you're gonna work with a high-level influencer, let's say a YouTuber that has 500,000 followers on YouTube and 100,000 on Instagram, you wanna look at their popularity on all platforms. So how much engagement do they get on Instagram, their Twitter? And if it checks out on all platforms, then chances are very likely they have a very, very strong pull. We have made a lot of mistakes in the past, just being very risky when it comes to influencers and just wanting to test as much as we can, which I personally, I'm a big fan of that. I'm willing to pay thousands of dollars just for data and to see, like, would this work and could this work? Because if you figure that out, like, you're golden. You can position all your future efforts based off of that. And we made the stupid decision one time of working with a model influencer. She had absolutely zero pull. It's just everything was messed up, from the target audience to everything was just bad. It's mostly, when you look at a model, it's mostly all guys following, which wasn't the target demo, and it was pretty much a $10,000 loss on that post. So, but again, that was more so of a risky move and more so not doing the research and just looking at the number of followers, and that's it. Okay, she's getting 500,000 likes on a photo, 1 million likes. Great, she must have pull. You want to validate them everywhere. And if they have a merch store, if they're selling stuff online, how well are they doing it? Are they selling rapidly? With high-level influencers, I'd recommend starting slow and just work your way up. We started off $700 pay an influencer, $1,500, $2,000, then we went to $8,000 and then $20,000 and $30,000. It's just going higher, and now we actually have contracts spanning over $200,000. We have one contract with an influencer worth $250,000. So you just want to start small, work your way up, and kind of go from there. I'd recommend also keeping a spreadsheet compiling influencers and the results that you get with them. And just to give you a really quick example right here, this is a very simple sheet that our influencer marketing manager uses to simply write down the Instagram handle and all the engagement, contact information, pricing information if they get back to us, and then the green light. If it lights up green right here in the status menu, that basically means that we have that they have agreed to do a post with them. And if we scroll a little bit farther over to the right, it's the results column with the results of each post that we had with that influencer story post. Only do a story with a first-time influencer. Do not do a feed post. I would highly advise against that. You want to validate their audience, and the best way to do that is with a story post. Story viewers are the loyal followers, and it's very easy to do a call to action on a story, and it's very easy to swipe up. It's very easy for them to sell because they're talking right at people. Their faces right in front of other people's faces. And what you want to do is aim at getting 3 promo slides from them. You never want to go with one. One is just not enough time to sell somebody on something. You want to go with 3, and ideally a high-level influencer you work with, they'll generally go with 3. I like to let them know our objective, just so that they can better position their presence. So I always tell them our objective with this is sales. You want to get stats from an influencer before you work with them. You want to have at least 5% of the audience watching the stories. A really good influencer, it's going to be 10 or above, but again, bare minimum, 5% plus. I would provide a discount code, have your influencer you're working with provide the audience a discount code. It's a great way to track what's going on, and it's a great incentive as well. It works for some, doesn't work for others. It's something that we do though. And the influencer, you want to have the influencer let you actually approve the story before it's actually published. It's very important, especially if your brand and your product is going to be on the line. You'll want it to look good. If somebody's going to be representing you, can you imagine if Kim Kardashian put something out about High Smile that was not approved and it was something that made them look bad? You don't want that to happen. There have been times where we have denied a post just because maybe the influencer wasn't enthused enough, just situations like that. It doesn't happen too often, but it has. And usually if there's a contract, this will be specified. And if there is a contract, you also want to specify that the influencer has nothing on their story by the time yours goes up. So it's the first thing people see. And also specify that you want stats after the post, just so that you get insight. How many people swiped up, how many people seen it, and so forth. Okay, let's talk about the story formula, because this is the most important part. Constructing this carefully so that there is a good amount of hype, a great amount of hype for people that actually want to purchase. So this is basically how it's gonna look. You got 3 promo slides. The first and second slide is just gonna be the influencer holding your product or wearing your product and just talking about it. Being like, for instance, holding this canvas right here and saying, yeah, I got this canvas right here. It's the best thing ever. It's not gonna be like that, but generally it's gonna be in their own words. We like to advise them, hey, be yourself. Just mention these things right here. Just a few simple bullets. We don't like to provide too many bullets. But again, first 2 slides, talking about your product, why they like it, and a few bullets that you recommend. The third slide is a hardcore pitch. So basically, it's generally going to be a static image that says, hey, swipe up. It might be a photo of the influencer with text on the screen that says swipe up to get this with the discount code, so that by the time they get to this third slide right here, that's all they see is the pitch and that's it. All right, and finally the landing page, the most important part. This is where people are swiping up to. We have tested pre-sale pages and product pages. Product pages have outperformed pre-sale pages. And it's no wonder why. It's just a more simple buying experience. And there's less objections along the way, as opposed to a pre-sale page. You got to click more buttons to actually get to the product. When your post is going up, prior to your post going up, you want to make sure that everything in your store, on your website, is optimized, 100% optimized. Have a good Instagram feed. Just have everything look good. Have the buying experience and entire process be 100%, because when that post goes up, as you might know, a lot of people purchase on impulse. And if you miss the boat, you're probably not going to get that sale again. They might say they're going to come back, but they don't actually come back. You want to catch people in the moment they see an influencer that they admire, that they like, talk about your product, they swipe up, they go to your product page. Easy process, very simple from start to checkout. So that is everything that I have when it comes to influencers and actually being able to use them now in particular stories, as that has proven to be most effective. Influencers are a phenomenal way to accelerate your growth as an e-commerce brand, as a store. Maybe you're not doing print on demand like I myself am. Influencers work for any store out there that has a great product, has great appeal, and you have a great experience. You provide a great experience to your customers. There's no reason why you should not be doing influencer marketing. It's the thing now that's working, especially with all the competition that's going on. The best way for people to see you is to get in front of the best way for people to see you is to get in front of them using influencers. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's all I got for you. Any questions, please be sure to drop them down below. If you got value from this, please be sure to like the video, subscribe. I put out weekly content talking about things like this and what exactly we're doing inside of the print-on-demand brand to get to the next level. All right, thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.